Good evening, YouTube world. I'm Dalila coming to you from somewhere in Los Angeles. I hope you all are having a great week, great day, wonderful evening, wonderful morning, afternoon, or whenever you're watching this video. So I'm going to go ahead and get into today's topic, which is my anxiety, the anxiety that I have about the future. So there's been a few really crazy things that have happened to me in the past 2 years. In past videos, I've talked about, why I decided to go back to school. I went back to school when I was 39 years old to get my associate's degree and to get my paralegal certificate, which I achieved, and now I work as a paralegal full time. Um, I also am going to be going back to school to Cal State Northridge, um, majoring political science, law, and society, because I want to be an attorney. So I am starting down that path, and yeah. Now, where does the anxiety come in at? Well, like I said before, the past couple of years have been very challenging. Um, and it started with family. Had a very big family thing come up that really kind of shook the core of my immediate family. And then not too soon after that happened, because of that family situation, um, my dad moved up to Anchorage, Alaska, which, by the way, is where I was born. I am from Anchorage, although I only spent a small part of my childhood there. My family left when I was about 8 years old. But the family incident caused my dad to have to move back up to Anchorage. And then in about May of 2023, my mother had a stroke, and a pretty, pretty extensive one. Now, this is a woman who has always been, she had her life. She was always going out. She was always very active, always trying to stay healthy, always exercising, walking around, very independent. And, she had the stroke and she cannot do any of that anymore. She can't really walk. Luckily, she can still talk. Her speech is still good. Her personality, everything is still there intact. It's just that now she is disabled. And that was very shocking for the family. And it took some time for me to get used to the fact that she is not going to be the mother that I've always known, since I was a kid, that she was changed now. But still with us, still has the personality and still fighting. So that was the second thing. The first thing was the family incident. The second thing was my mother's stroke. And then my sister, she also got into a very bad situation that I can't really get into, but she had something major happen to her that put added stress on the family, put added stress on me as well, and then, so that happened. Now, fast forward to February of this year, I got news that my father had passed away up in Anchorage, which again, we were not expecting. Now, my dad was about 71 years old. His health was not good. He hadn't really taken care of himself throughout the decades, and, it showed. But it was still very unexpected nonetheless. And me and my father, we did not have best relationship. So my father and I were not really on speaking terms when he passed away, and that just adds to the sadness of all of it. It's all very sad, and my dad had a lot of potential. When he was locked in as a father, he was great, but most of my childhood and of course into my adulthood, he simply wasn't. And I'll get into more of that in a later video as to why he was not 100% locked in as a father. But whether no matter what, it was a surprise, and it did take a lot out of me. Me and my sister, we had to travel up to Anchorage to handle his affairs and go. I hadn't been to Anchorage since I left when I was 8. I'm 44 now, so that's a long time, a few decades plus of not being there. And being in Anchorage, we went through old neighborhoods, old school that I used to go to, and driving down those streets and seeing all of that, it just brought back so many memories and had a lot of emotions. But that was a big thing. But what that taught me is change. Whether you like it or not, whether you're ready for it or not, the world keeps turning, time keeps moving forward, people pass away, the babies are born, and and it doesn't stop. And as someone who, as humans, as people, we like to think we have some kind of control over at least our lives. And when things happen unexpectedly, you make plans, and then things happen unexpectedly, and those plans get thrown off, and it makes you wonder what's next. What is in store? Or is there more trauma ahead? Is there more events that's gonna happen that's gonna affect me or throw me off my game? That's where the anxiety comes in at for me. There's been some good things that have happened. I guess you would say I'm a great aunt. My niece had a daughter, and so now I have a brand new niece, and that was great. And my best friend, she is about to have her first child, and a son, and she's gonna be getting married. So there's some good things that are happening as well. And then what I'm going to be doing in my life, so there is some good positivity there, but it doesn't stop the anxiousness and the anxiety. And I'm very anxious about my journey. I'm very scared because like I said, I work full time, and I worry about, will I be able to maintain my job and my school schedule? Will school allow, will there be any convenience for me as a working adult, right? Universities and even community colleges to a certain extent, they really do cater to the full-time student, who can be in class, 5 days a week, morning, afternoon, evening. They can be in class, whatever, because that is what they're doing. They might have a little part-time gig, but for the most part, they are in school. When you're someone who is older and you're already working and you're a professional and you have a demanding job and you have a lot of responsibility at that job, you don't have the flexibility that, a full-time student would have. Your time constraints are, your time is, very precious. And, um, I notice a lot of universities, it's tough. Community colleges are great for working adults, but when you start going into the university level, then it gets more challenging. And I am worried that I won't be able to, that I might run into some issues. But that's just my anxiety. Again, it's my anxiety because I'm not used to things working out. I'm not used to things going well, just based off of my, you know, my life, how I grew up. But also, there's a lot of anxiety for me because, like I said, I want to move to a new space. I'm ready to change my surroundings, and I've been preparing for that, or I've been trying to prepare for that financially. Because like I said, I live in Los Angeles, very expensive market. So when you're making plans to make a move, you need to really take into consideration, like, do you really have the funds to do that? And so I, because I've now been much more aware of my finances, and I put more of an effort into saving money, I'm like, well, I give myself, this year to save. By the end of the year, I should be good. But there's just been so much stuff going on that I haven't been able to really do that. Every time I turn around, I'm having to dig into the savings that's supposed to be going towards, this. And it makes me feel like I'm going backwards instead of forwards, and it's very frustrating. And it adds to my anxiety, But what I don't want to do is I don't want to just throw up my hands and say, from, the first adversity, throw up my hands and say, oh, well, I tried. No, but also I don't want the things around me, I love my family very much, but I don't want the things around me, people, friends, family, whatnot, to take me off of what I'm trying to do. What I'm going to be doing is going to be, it's going to demand so much of my mental, emotional, all of it. It's going to require all of it. And I need to be 110% locked in. No crashing out. So, but I thought I'd just kind of talk to you all about that. I'm very excited for the future. I'm excited to, get started. But I also do have my fears, and I do have my anxieties, and I am still working through a lot of stuff. With my mom, she's lives in a senior living. Her home is a senior living. They're continuously going up on the rent, so there is anxiety about that. Will my mom have to move in with me? And she is disabled, and how that could affect what I'm trying to do. Also still working through the death of my dad, and also dealing with my sister's situation, and just, it's never perfect. There's never the perfect time or the most opportune time to go out and pursue something. There's always going to be stuff going on in your life that is going to make things even more challenging. But I am dedicated, and I want to make sure that I just stay on the path. I have a therapist that I see once a week, and that's really, having a therapist has really helped me to work through a lot of what's going on in my life, and then what I want to do in my professional life. It has really helped. I mean, I couldn't imagine shouldering all this without being able to have someone, a neutral party, where I can talk to about all of it, where I can yell, scream, cry, whatever, and just talk about stuff that I just can't really talk about with my friends and family. So that's my that's pretty much my video for the day. So let me know if there's anything that you're pursuing, any goals that you're after, and you know, how do you deal with it? How do you handle, because you know me, I don't have any kids, and you know, I don't have a spouse, and I know, you know, like that is also something that can greatly add to a lot of, you know, for older adults who are trying to reinvent themselves, who are pursuing new avenues, and they've also got families to take care of, and they've got this going on, they've got that going on. They also have challenging careers. For anyone out there like that, I mean, you know, how do you keep it all in order? How do you keep yourself from getting overly anxious? You know, let me know. Talk about it. But that is my video for the day. Again, if you like this content, give me a like, subscribe, and if you don't like this content, hey, give me a like, subscribe. I might grow on you. So for wherever you are in this crazy world we are living in, have a great day, evening, afternoon. Stay safe, and see you soon. Bye.